So, with the reveal of Battlefield 1 and now all of the first multiplayer gameplay we've seen, a lot of people out there are coming up with different concepts as to what they'd like to see in the game when it releases on October 21st. In this video, I've got a concept that's been on my mind for the last couple of weeks after seeing the trailer, and I wanted to make a video about it just to see what other people thought about the idea. The concept is based on a new Conquest style game mode where there is only one flag. You could kind of think of this as in a King of the Hill type game mode, but yeah, this is how it's basically going to flow. Before getting into the details of the actual game mode though, I'd like to set the scene as to how the map layout would work. Okay, so in order to describe this as best as possible, I'll be providing the images on screen so you can actually visualize it from there instead of me having to explain and you getting confused. Imagine that there is a massive open field that acts as a clearing in a forest, so this would mean that there is a forest surrounding the clearing. In the middle of that open field is a church. Now, to fit with the game's setting, it's got to be an older looking church which may have been abandoned for some time due to it being in the middle of a forest. This church will act as the main flag in the game mode. The reason I've got the forest in mind is that it will give both teams a good amount of cover to use before stepping out into the open to run for the church. Snipers would also be able to keep themselves hidden in the trees as well to provide overwatch for their teammates. To add some purpose as to why the church has to be captured, this is where the troops of the winning team are going to keep their wounded soldiers to get treated. I've added this idea as it kind of makes sense to use an abandoned building like this one as some sort of safe haven for the troops to get their injured soldiers to rest. There are actually real life images on the internet that show hospitals being thrown together in churches, which is pretty cool to see as it fits with the concept even more. It would kind of seem pretty pointless having only one flag to capture and it not having any other purpose than just, you've got to capture this flag. It's a purpose that fits with a World War I setting and something I feel would be very fitting to that type of setting. So getting into the game mode itself, both teams will spawn at either side of the map and will have to race to the church to secure it. In order to win the game, one of the teams has to stay within the church's capture zone for a certain period of time, which as it stands, I don't actually know how long that would be. But anyways, this has to be done by having 5 people of that team inside of the church at one time. This means that just 1 or 2 people can't capture the church on their own, as in real life I'm pretty sure they get torn down pretty badly by their opponents. In terms of it being 5 people having to be in the church at one time, this could be iterated upon, but it's just a base number for now. In terms of the vehicles and transportation in the map, there's something that I've not quite figured out yet. In my head, I kind of had it so that it'd be more of an infantry map, so if we had tanks rolling around, I'm pretty sure the church would be blown up as soon as the game started, thanks to the new destruction system. If there was to be any vehicles implemented into the map, they would have to be smaller ones such as the bikes and the horses, but this type of setting probably wouldn't feature them as the ones we saw in the trailer fought on the desert maps. Speaking of the destruction though, I'm seriously impressed as to how it's looking so far, even in the closed alpha testing. But saying that, I feel as if the church should not be able to be leveled. This would leave the church very open and there would be really no way for it to be captured unless everyone on the capturing team went prone. Yes, it would make sense for the church to take damage, and I still feel that's how it should go. Windows being shot out, front doors being blown off, parts of the wall being torn apart, all of that, just no leveling the building. So that's about it for the concept itself, and I hope you've enjoyed listening to it. I know it's been quite short, but the idea kind of first came around properly when I was playing Heroes and Generals back when I used to play it consistently, and with Battlefield 1 being the perfect game for this type of game mode, I thought I'd bring the idea across. If you have any thoughts on how to make the concept better, or if you just have any thoughts in general, please let me know in the comments below. So while you're down there as well, it'd be great if you could like the video, and if you're already not, give me a subscribe. I've been Unsey, and I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.